This has been an emotional roller coaster, and we have gone from some incredible highs to some incredible lows. Back in 2008, I was 23 years old, and I was experiencing episodes of rapid heart rate. I saw the cardiologist, and through a myriad of testing, within about a week, I was diagnosed with heart failure. I was 23 years old. I was in heart failure. I wasn't gonna have a heart attack. I was at risk for sudden cardiac death. My heart was just gonna stop, and I was gonna die.
I was in Iraq at the time, going through a 15-month deployment. It was kind of towards the tail end of the deployment. And I mean, it was shocking at the time. Like, we didn't really know, I didn't really understand what was going on.
I did everything my doctors told me to, and with diet, exercise, and medication, I actually increased the function of my dying heart. And although my initial diagnosis told me that I would never have children, I wasn't satisfied with that answer. I came to my new doctors and I said, this is important to me. This is a priority to me. Is it really off the table? And so after, again, an intense cardiac treadmill test and a few other things, my doctor felt comfortable enough with allowing me to get pregnant. And so in April of 2011, I found out that I was pregnant, and in December of 2011, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. She's now 5.5, and she means the world to us.
Come here, big girl. How are you?
After I delivered Marianne, I was home for about 3 days and ended up being unable to lay down. I went to lay down and I was so short of breath. You could hear water inside my lungs as I was trying to breathe. And it was really scary. I was hospitalized, and it was quickly managed. It was quickly got back under control. And after that, we really just kind of sailed along for a while. We adopted Will, and our family was whole, and we were happy.
Whoa, it's so big. Good job.
In 2015, March, I started to slow down a lot. And so my medical team at that point decided that a transplant was going to be necessary. In September of 2015, I had a PICC line put in my arm. It was an IV that stayed with me at all times to disperse medication to help my heart function and help it pump harder. By the middle of January, the medications weren't helping anymore, and so I was hospitalized. While I was in the hospital, I had a balloon pump put in that ran my heart for me. And that balloon pump ran my heart for 36 days. After it was in for the first 8 days, my balloon pump actually failed and I needed a new one. It failed because it didn't fit me. Medical devices aren't designed to fit women, so they had to courier in a pediatric balloon pump from Chicago in order to fit my body. And so research has become a real passion of mine after going through things like this, where I'm using pediatric devices because we don't make devices designed for women. After 36 days, I was walking these laps on the floor of the hospital, and as I'm finishing a lap, I can see not one but 2 coordinators standing out in the hallway. And when the coordinators come, it's generally with news, and when there's 2, the news is either really good or really bad. And they were just smiling so hard, and I just knew it. I knew it at that point. They had my heart. After 36 days of waiting in the hospital, on February 16th of 2016, I received a life-saving heart transplant. At that point, I felt like such a survivor. I had made it. I survived heart failure. I can confidently say that I am no longer in heart failure. I'm a survivor.
After the transplant, watching her wake up in the hospital room, it was just a huge weight off our shoulders. I knew we still had a long road to hoe, but I felt like the worst of it, the most dangerous part of it was behind us.
On average, the transplanted heart only lasts 12 years. I've had my new heart for almost 2 years at this point, and so now I'm down to 10 years left. That'll make my daughter 15 and my son 13, and that's just not good enough. The American Heart Association has this great campaign called Life is Why. And the idea behind that is that you think about, what is your why? Your why has to be really, really big. Or in my case right now, my whys are pretty small. It's my kids, and I'm just not willing to give it up.
Good job, buddy. High five.
There are some days where you jump out of bed in the morning and you're like, holy cow, I'm alive. And that's absolutely remarkable. And you think about this woman that died so that I can be here. And I'm not gonna let her down. I'm not gonna sit on the sidelines and miss my life because I only have 10 years left. I'm gonna go out and live every second of it.